What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 183 of the Bench Podcast. Full show for you today, including recapping week number 11, Wild Week.
Yeah, Bills conquer some demons. Falcons get blown up by the mighty Broncos. Great week.
NFC West is crazy.
NFC West is all 500.
Enjoy.
Please.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bench Podcast. My name is Joey, joined as always by my brother, co-host, late on a Sunday night. Angel, what's up?
It's a Bronco Victory Monday.
You've been having some good Mondays lately.
Broncos are winning. We kicked the shit out of the Falcons today.
Yeah, you're having a good Monday, as is our friend at the Bruiser Desk, Terrell Thoroughgood. AJ and Gabe both out. Terrell filling in. Terrell, congrats on big Broncos win.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We took it to them, putting a sweep on the NFC South, baby.
That's true. That's true. And you guys destroyed them.
Yeah, we
That was the most surprising thing of the day for me, I think, that Broncos win.
I thought it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be closer.
I thought you were going to lose.
But
I did pick the Broncos, though. I thought.
Yeah, Kirko and the offense never got moving. Broncos defense just dominated.
Yeah, big conversations to have there.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, Chiefs no longer undefeated. I mean, the NFC West is wild. A lot going on with 11.
Yeah, 6-4 at the top, right? And then 5-5 the rest of them.
All the way down to the bottom. If you're watching here on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Thanks for joining us. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, thanks for joining the audio version of the Bench Podcast. Brought to you, of course, by the Fans First Sports Network. Follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search at Bench Show to follow us on all those different platforms. And, of course, check out benchshow.com. home of the Bench Beat, articles on fandom, fantasy, and all things NFL. All right, it is Monday, and on Monday, we hand out the benchies. All right, happy Monday to you. I'll just get a start, yeah?
Yeah.
My screw you, Anthony Richardson benchie goes to Anthony Richardson for going off for a ton of fantasy points the week I traded him away to our very own Terrell. Screw you, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, he went off today. Game-winning drive, too.
He looked good.
My benchie is, look at that boy go. Bo Nix today against Atlanta.
Look at that
28 for 33, 307 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, pass rating of 145. Best game of his career, one of the best games of his career, his young career.
Inside track to Rookie of the Year, I think.
That needs to be talked about more.
We got Terrell.
My benchy is Hot Tua. Tua coming back. Second win in a row for the Dolphins. Tua, 28 for 36, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was on fire today.
Crazy.
Dolphins are 4-6, and they're right back in the playoff hunt. This is a guy we were talking about. He should retire.
Yeah.
From the league, and now he's coming back. Plays well against the Rams. Plays good against the Raiders. They got the Pats next week, maybe 5-6, and then a big game against the Packers after that. So
yeah,
he was on fire.
In their mind, they're in a playoff race.
They are in play. 100% are. We talking about?
I just don't believe them, but yeah, they're good.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
They're good.
Yeah, I know why. Because the Broncos are also on the same bubble.
Yeah, we're gonna kick their ass if we ever beat them.
Yeah.
We'll see.
How'd that go last year?
Huh?
Listen.
That's a different team. We'll talk about that no more. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have Bo. We had Russ. You know what I'm saying? The vibes are different.
All right, those are the benchies. Let's jump into the news. All right, news brought to you by HUEGA House Hats. Use our code BNCHD for 15. That's 15% off on HUEGAHouseHats.com. I'm not sure if that's a website, to be honest, but you can find it.
HUEGAHouse.org.
Google search that. Yeah. Shit. All right, Adam Schefter, the Seahawks wanted and intended to draft Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf in the second round of the 2019 draft and thought they had a deal in place to do it. Per sources, the Seahawks nearly pulled it off before their plans sizzled late. Let me ask you this question. If they had paired, that's an awkward picture of them as well. If they had paired Deebo and DK Metcalf.
I just noticed that.
Lips to lips.
Hey, look, man, they're close friends.
How does that change the 49ers legacy?
But Deebo's a big part of the turnaround for them.
They never make a Super Bowl, maybe?
Yeah, Deebo's a big part of that culture. He's the reason him and Kittle kind of started the tough guy thing on offense. Yeah, it's weird that this story came out the day that they're playing.
Yeah, I love these kind of stories about what almost happened in a draft. There's so many crazy things, just how the NFL could have turned on one trade like that. Let's move ahead here. Lions starting linebacker Alex Anzalone broke his forearm today against Jacksonville. He'll be out up to 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks. Big loss for the Lions. Already missing pass rush help in Hutchinson. Just got to Darius Smith, but Anzalone was kind of the heartbeat of the defense a little bit, kind of like one of those guys, but he'll be out now 2 months, and they just take another hit in that defensive front.
Yeah, Dan Campbell loves this guy. This is Dan
He's
Campbell's
awesome.
guy. Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's a good linebacker. I mean, they drafted your boy Jack Campbell, so now he steps into it's your time.
I mean, there's no more hiding for Jack Campbell.
Or Malcolm Rodriguez, remember him? He's gonna play a lot. HBO.
What Anzalone gave you that neither of those guys do is that he's a pass rusher as well.
Yeah,
and so it just sucks to lose more pass rushing on a team that already needs it so badly.
Blitz even more.
Terrell, did you see what new Detroit Lion Darius Smith wore to the game today?
No, I didn't see what
he wore. A Rashid Shaheed jersey. Rashid Shaheed. God, that's a stupid. Rasheed Wallace jersey.
Shout out to
Imagine he wore Rashid Shaheed. Like, that makes no sense. Rasheed Wallace jersey, because in 2004, Rasheed Wallace joined the Pistons halfway through and led them to a championship. So he was like, I am the Rasheed Wallace of this Detroit team.
Well, not really.
I'm not sure.
I don't think you remember Rasheed Wallace. How could you?
We remember Rasheed very differently.
Yeah.
Seahawks starting center Connor Williams decided to retire.
Fuck this shit.
27 years old.
I'm out.
He started every game for Seattle, overcame a major knee injury while he was in Miami, and just decided to retire.
27 years young.
Week 11, I'm done.
He saw the Niners like, fuck
I don't want to get too into this. I don't know. There might be some story.
There's something deeper behind it. You know, he's dealing with some real issues.
Yeah. But since we don't, we'll speculate wildly. That's what we like to do on the show.
I mean, listen, it could be worse positions. 27 years old, you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, ex-NFL player, that can open some doors as well. So
we've seen some guys.
Good luck, Connor. Hey, you had a good run.
Hey, Connor.
You had a good run.
Way to go, Connor.
Good
run,
Con
Good riddance. Oh, I mean, good job.
Hopefully your family's okay. Or whatever's
So,
happening.
hopefully everyone's fine. Hopefully you're just sick of it.
We're just sick of McDonald's or something.
Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill said he may undergo surgery on a wrist injury that limited him in practice last week, but any procedure would be after the 2024 season ends. I heard in another report that he sustained. He got this injury way back in preseason in a joint practice, so he's been dealing with this for a while. I'm guessing if they slip out of playoff contention, he's going to go and have that surgery.
Surgery done.
But, you know, it explains a little bit. He's having a down year.
Yeah, weird.
Wes Welker said last week, the wide receivers coach, that it's not affecting his play, but you got to imagine. I mean, you don't go from what he did last year and the years before to just kind of an okay receiver this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you play fantasy, which is, like, probably our entire listener base, you know he's not the same Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, well, I gave Terrell a crap load for him in the offseason. He came to my team. I was excited to finally have Tyreek Hill paired with Justin Jefferson.
You also have, yeah.
He's been absolutely nothing.
He's shit.
Total waste.
Yeah.
And finally, Adam Schefter reporting Beyonce will be performing the Christmas Day halftime show, Ravens Texans. So we'll all be tuned in. I, however, will be tuned out halftime. No thank you on a Beyonce show.
Yeah, who runs the music stuff for the NFL? Oh, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
No, never mind. Okay,
Yeah,
so this.
we got Beyonce, we got Rihanna.
So she must have.
No Lil Wayne.
So she must have earned this.
Yeah.
Good for her.
You tuned in for a Beyonce show, Terrell? That's not a racial thing. I'm honestly asking.
No, I mean, yeah, it feels like it though. There's a lot of black musicians who've been running the show the last.
That's very
I
true.
don't know, last 5, 6. What is it?
When's the last? Yeah, I mean, we had in L.A. It was Snoop and Dre,
Kendrick,
50 Cent,
Kendrick,
Anderson .Paak.
yeah, Rihanna.
and then wasn't it Weekend?
The Weekend.
You're right.
Yo, NFL's
No white people allowed.
God, I think since like Katy Perry.
Yeah, maybe it was Katy
I mean,
Perry.
Katy Perry was probably the last.
They didn't let Stapleton have the pregame song to himself. They threw Snoop in there too.
Man,
No, maybe it was was Justin Timberlake before or after? Katy Perry?
well, he's invited to the cookie.
That
Was he
seems
the
like
minute-
a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago actually.
You're right.
That was
You're right. This has gone a certain way since Jay-Z took over.
Is the NFL racist?
That's a big conversation.
It's a
Listen.
tough one.
Big conversation.
All I see is
I
Kaepernick.
feel like we're not the people to do.
Kaepernick thinks so.
Yeah,
so.
but he thinks
wants
the
to
other
come
way.
back. Oh yeah.
Kaepernick thinks it's racist the other way.
What is Beyonce gonna sing? Or her country album? That's what
it's nominated for everything.
That's what we want to hear.
because it was a great album.
It's such a good album, dude. Everyone I know listened to it. It was
Angel is
amazing.
really upset about this. Like he's very
You know,
upset.
she's on like for best country album. That's her.
Oh, you're mad about that. I thought you meant like the game. This is a Christmas game, right?
Yeah, it's the one
It'd be a
thing.
great game.
Only Beyonce can ruin Christmas.
Ravens Texans rematch of that playoff game last year.
Yeah, I'll tune out. This one I'll go take a shit or something.
There you go. Thanks for sharing that.
Long shit.
Thanks for sharing that with everybody. That's
Hey, I got to catch up on my advanced football team.
amazing. All right, let's take a quick break, and we get back. We're going to recap week number 11. It was a wild one. Be right back.
Hey, check it out. You're listening to The Bench Project. Project. Hey, check it out. You're listening to The Bench Project. Project, why don't I call it that? Hey, check it out. You're listening to The Bench NFL Project. Project, what the fuck? Check it out. You're listening to The Bench NFL Project. Project. Hey, check it out. You're listening to The Bench Podcast.
All right, week number 11, almost in the books. Just one game remains. That, of course, is Monday Night Football, Cowboys, Texans. But it's been a good week. Started all the way back on Thursday night when my Eagles
That's a crow.
absolutely kicked the crap out of Jaden Daniels. I wanted to bring this up real quick
Jaden.
because we have the leader of the Jaden Daniels fan club.
Yes.
Terrell, how disappointed were you when you realized Jaden Daniels was nowhere near beating the Eagles?
Look, this was a disappointing game because look, beginning of the season, this is the game I picked him to win. I said he was going to win the first matchup
Sweet pick.
against the Eagles. But I did say they split, so maybe I got the games
Oh,
wrong.
that's what it was.
I did say they would split, but I also said the Commanders would squeak in at 9-8. So
That's true.
they're looking a lot better than I expected. But I thought Jaden he needs his breakout game. I thought it would be this game, in prime
It
time.
was not.
Definitely not.
They need more weapons. They should have gotten weapons.
They need more. I don't know. I don't want to pile on the guy because, yeah, he needs weapons. Not much around him. I wasn't too impressed with him against the Eagles or anyone good that he's faced. Like all the good teams, I haven't been too impressed with him. He's kind of obviously put up some great numbers against not so great teams, but I don't know. I'm not there with him yet.
Where would you rank him amongst rookie quarterbacks?
Not a great class so far. I mean, you got Bo Nix is number one for me.
Okay.
And then Jaden Daniels. Who else is there?
Drake May? Would you put him above? Drake May?
Drake May. Ooh, yeah,
Drake May's pretty
Drake
good.
May. He had a good start. He had a great couple of weeks to start.
Yeah.
Drake May's been good, not great. He hasn't had any. The cool thing about Drake May is that he hasn't had any real low lows.
Yeah.
He's kind of just been okay to good since he got here.
Kind of a shit show over there anyway.
Yeah, but Jane Daniels has shown some real superstar potential at points in the season. So
Yeah.
I'd put Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, space, Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams has that good weeks though.
No, Caleb and
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler on the same.
Yeah.
They're kind of on the same thing.
I'm not impressed with Caleb Williams so far, man.
Yeah,
and I was a Caleb Williams guy. I don't know.
He's interesting because you don't know if it's him or the Bears. But
Let's go with that because we're going to start with the Packers-Bears game.
Yeah.
Bears lose this game 19-20. I guess the firing the coach, the players only meeting, the Caleb Williams standing up in front of the team and apologizing for his part in the offense sucking meant pretty much nothing. They lose to a Packers team that honestly gave the Bears every chance to win. Yeah. Jordan Love, 8 straight games now with an interception. That's the longest streak in the NFL. I think, listen, I brought it up a couple weeks ago. I think Gabe was really mad at me for bringing it up, but he has a turnover issue right now. He does. Yeah. He's being careless with the ball. He's a lot more Brett Favre than he is Aaron Rodgers right now, and he's going to need to clean that up because that's going to cost him a playoff game.
Yeah, they won today off a blocked field goal.
Yep.
So you don't. Obviously, you guys won. A win's a win.
You don't feel great about it.
You'll take it, but you're like, the Bears almost beat us. The Bears who were in disarray completely. So yeah, this does worry me a little bit, but about Green Bay and their upside and their potential, because I feel like some weeks they just kind of slip up, and you can't do that in the playoffs, obviously, because so you might lose in the first round if you kind of play like this. But a win's a win.
Terrell, any concern with the Packers?
Yeah, the Packers, they're good. They're fine. I don't think anyone's gonna really. They're not gonna get knocked out of the playoffs, but they're a team that they could win a playoff game, and they're kind of scary.
Yeah,
they're in the kind of category. We're still kind of holding out hope. Let's give Jordan Love a little bit of a break. It's only really his second season in the league. So we got to give him a little bit of a break there. He does have a turnover problem, but I thought Caleb Williams played really well. I liked them having him run the ball a lot more, doing a lot of read option with him.
9 carries, 70 yards.
Yeah, so I mean,
That's awesome.
him running the ball made him look a little bit. They kind of give him a little bit of the Bo Nix treatment.
Yeah.
A lot of quick passes, a lot of short passes, and a lot of read option with him. So the Bears, this is a tough one to lose. That's the one they should have snuck out of there.
Right.
But the Packers have some games where they've squeaked out some wins. So I don't know. Packers, they're fine. This game didn't really tell me one thing or the other. The Bears aren't as bad as we think they are. The Packers aren't as good as we think they are.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put the Packers right now in the best of the best in the NFC, where I had them to start the year. Like, I had them right there with Lions. And
I had Jordan Love as the MVP.
yeah, exactly. So I think he's definitely had a sophomore slump, I would say. And he's dealt with a lot of injuries. He's had kind of a weird year. Who's had the bigger sophomore slump to you? C.J. Stroud or Jordan Love? Both guys that we thought were about to take over the league.
True.
I mean,
Well, I'll lean Love because really Stroud's not turning the ball over.
Yeah.
I think it's CJ. I think because
Yeah, they're kind of it's kind of
because
the same
Jordan
person.
Jordan Love turned the ball over last year. He didn't play great at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
He
had like a clean
he had
run at
really
the
good
end.
December.
Yeah,
December
yeah.
was really good for him. But again, he turned the ball over against the Niners in the playoff game.
Yep.
So, but CJ, he was coming up clutch in games, and then you saw them force 5 turnovers last week and still lose the game.
It's a process, man. Like, we want these guys to be, a finished product in year 2, and they weren't there yet. But that's not saying they can't get there. Like, just let them figure it out. Let them learn the league. Let them get some games under their belt. And I think both these quarterbacks are going to be fine. Like, they're not huge disappointments. They're just not everything that we thought they could be this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still am pumped if I'm a Packer or Texans fan to have one of these guys leading my team, right?
Yeah. Jordan Love, and Stroud. You're happy if you're your quarterback. Yeah. But now you're just a little more.
And they're winning you games. You could be Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and their team's relevant. You're still like you said right now. Like, if they get in the playoffs, you're so scared of them. So that's kind
you
of
could be the Jags. You could be the Browns.
You could be the Jets.
The Jets. Who have veteran quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And
still shit.
Yeah.
The problem is you went into a year where this next team we're going to talk about, Detroit, is running the show, and it's their division, and we kind of realize now, well, you're nowhere near to knocking Detroit off the hill. Today they win 52-6 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's with Mac Jones running the ship. Let's be honest there, but I mean, just this game, you kind of had blowout written all over it. This morning we all woke up to the text or the tweets from Ian Rappaport about Doug Peterson pretty much knows is his last game. If he gets blown out, which he was 14-point underdog, so he was going to get blown out.
dogs.
He's going to lose his job, all that. So we knew it was kind of a farewell song for Doug Peterson, and Jacksonville sent him out in Jacksonville style with the 40-point loss.
Yeah, the first 7 possessions of the Lions offensively, they were ended in touchdowns.
7 for 7 touchdowns to start the game.
That's
That's just
like,
giving up.
That's some high school
you
football
gotta quit.
stuff.
Like,
That's just giving up. Like you gave up.
They got to send them to the XFL or whatever is out there. I mean, Doug Peterson should just do what Urban Meyer did and just go get a drink with some girl at the bar after
maybe.
the game. Like, that's the only thing you got to
See
do.
what's going on in that bar.
Yeah. Fun fact: the Jacksonville's 46-point loss today was the worst loss in franchise history. It beat out another Lions win.
Oh, really?
In 1995 by 44 points.
Wow. Go Lions.
The Lions and Jags have a rivalry.
So obviously Jags are, I think, right now projected for the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, which should be very interesting because they seem to believe in Trevor Lawrence, and so that could possibly something that
Travis Hunter.
well, that you were Travis Hunter or be something that's up for sale.
Oh.
And rebuild
Get a
their
haul.
with some young talent because it's going to be worth a lot because someone's going to want to go get either Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders or whatever quarterback someone likes. Let's talk about the other side now. Detroit Lions, Jared Goff. After throwing 5 picks and
He's fine.
Last week, threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions this year, balled out. Those 2 running backs are so good.
Yeah.
Like I know that's so simple, such a simple way to say it, but Montgomery and Gibbs are just. We haven't seen this in a couple years. Like I'm thinking of
Say it.
some of the great duos that we've seen. Who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking Jonathan Stewart and fuck.
Jonathan
Stewart.
God, what's the other guy's
the
name?
Carolina
The Panthers.
Panthers
The Panthers guys. Sean Foster?
No.
That's before them.
Jonathan Stewart was the number 28. Was the ground and pound guy.
Yeah, who's number 34?
And
Williams?
34, Williams.
D'Angelo Williams.
D'Angelo Williams.
Williams.
That's
Yeah.
what I think of. Like one's ground and pound guy between tackles, and the one's kind of like the flashy speed guy. But they both can do everything.
They both can break it. They're both good in the passing game.
Yeah, or you go Mike Turner and LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of good ones out there.
That's obviously a weapon for them. Amon-Ra went complete scorcher today. 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jameson Williams had a Jameson day, 1-24 there. They were without Laporta, so now we're at full strength. The Lions are really, really good. To me, they're the best team in the NFC and the best team in the NFL. Like, to me, the Lions are the best team this year.
Yeah. Now that we've seen the little chink in the armor with the Chiefs loss today, like okay, now we could put Lions on top because they look sometimes they play games are like they're just practicing.
I'm worried though. Like they haven't had to have that pass rush yet. Like they're blowing teams out. But I wonder when they play someone like a little more evenly matched, if that's going to finally come like to a head. Do you think it's going to be a problem in the future, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're definitely gonna need it in come playoff time. But I don't know. I mean,
Philly right here. Good old line. Defense is a lot better now. Philly, right? So that would be a team.
I said this before the show when we were just talking. I just feel like Philly, Detroit is on a crash course to, like they are who should play in the NFC championship game. Like they're clearly the two best teams. Well, obviously anything can happen. Injuries can happen. There's still a lot of football left to play. But I think those two teams are going to be matched up eventually. And yeah, I think they're going to need a pass rush when if they're in Philly or if Philly goes to Detroit. All right, let's move right here. Sorry, you got something, Joe?
No, I was just saying, you're definitely gonna need it because pass rushes. That's what wins you the game. That's you need a closer in there. You need a Chris Jones or something like that.
Von Miller. Von.
Where are we on the Vikings, guys? They win today, 23-13. I know we're often a little shaky on Sam Darnold because it is Sam Darnold today, 20 for 32, 246, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Played a real clean game. Spread the ball around. I mean, he looks good again, but he's been so up and down. Like, I have a little bit more faith even, I think, than the Packers than right now I do the Vikings. And that's even with that great defense, that Brian Flores defense.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Vikings, I think, have shaken our confidence a little bit.
A little bit. Because Sam Darnold and this is a good game, but you're right, though. I think this is a quarterback-driven league. Once quarterback starts looking not as sharp, you start to question everything. Like everything.
Yeah. And like we want to be fair to the guy. The Titans were the number one pass defense as far as yards goes going into this game. And so for him to have a clean game, decent yardage, good touchdown, no interceptions against them, like give him his props. We just want to see this every week, I think is the problem.
Yeah. Did Snead play today? I thought he was out. But yeah. Either way, it's a consistency problem. And you want to see like with the Lions, with the we see teams like that, like every week they're kind of the same team. With them, you don't really know what you're gonna get, especially on offense.
Titans in a little bit of free fall here, but they're obviously their season's over.
Yeah,
they're looking toward next year. They're trying to get a good look at Will Levis, who's played back-to-back really tough defenses. Played San Diego Chargers last week, Vikings this week. Has looked okay, but there's no chance he's the future guy, right?
No, he needs to be the backup for some team.
No, I think you gotta have him in competition. I think he's
the
still,
Fugaze thing. Like he might
give him a shot to compete against somebody. I mean, again, there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks out there. Some teams who have some good backups that are going to be on the move next year. So you look at maybe Zach Wilson will be a quarterback that might get some attention. Another young guy that's out there who's who might get another shot at it. So.
Zach Wilson's currently learning behind Bo Nix.
Oh, Nix.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense because I think Bo Nix is older than him.
Yeah. It's a weird world.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins and Las Vegas Raiders, 34-19. Miami, predictably, I think, winning here. Still fighting for their playoff hopes, keeping it alive. The Raiders fighting for absolutely nothing. They're done already.
For Raider pride.
Antonio Pierce, I think, is on his way out. Tom Brady's going to ship him out so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Terrell?
Yeah, the Dolphins The Dolphins are on the come up here. This is a team that's scary. As Denver's hanging on to that last spot there.
We got nothing. I'm just talking about we got the firm grip of that shit.
No, you don't.
2 hands. No, I was kidding.
No, Denver's looking well. We'll talk about them in a second. But the Dolphins are making a push here. It's crazy that it's like Tua is that much of a difference maker for the Dolphins. I mean, this team was
the worst.
I mean, they were knocking on the door. They were applying to be students in the ass class.
class. Yeah. Yep.
But they're
Tell you what, if you're a Dolphins fan, you should never question the contract of Tua Tagovailoa ever again.
Yeah.
You saw what life was like without it.
They're completely different.
He's a completely different team. So I mean, they're looking. They were explosive today. They were looking scary. I mean, you have Jonnu Smith going off today.
Rebirth. Yeah.
So I don't know. The Dolphins look really good. The Raiders, we know what the Raiders are. The Raiders are a really good first half team, and honestly, I'm so mad that they have Brock Bowers.
Can I read you Brock Bowers' stats on the year? Can you just get? Okay, I'm gonna give
in the year or just today?
No.
13 catches, 126 yards.
On the year. He has 70 catches, 706 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, you got to imagine that's better than most teams. Wide receiver one. Like, he's really, really good.
Yeah.
Like he has 2 games with over 10 catches, and he's phenomenal. And I know Raider fans love him, but it's a shame he plays for the Raiders. He's really good.
He's too good to be with a team with
Here we go.
garbage quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of teams in the draft who could have moved up to get him, and the Jets. Imagine if the Jets actually got him instead of taking Fashanu with their first pick, and he just started playing him today.
Score some points, maybe.
Yeah, that would have helped.
good.
Explosiveness.
Yeah, Bowers is very good. That's a guy that slipped in the draft, and he probably shouldn't have.
Looking at the Raiders right now, I'm just looking at their box score even. They're just void of talent. There's just nothing there that pops out to you. Like, I mean, obviously, besides Brock Bowers.
Their leading rusher was Jacoby Myers.
I just saw that. Like, Jacoby Myers.
20 yards.
One carry for 20 yards. That's their leading rusher. Before we move on for the Dolphins too fast, I wanted to talk about his counterpart. Because I think kind of an unsung hero here from the Dolphins turnaround is Devin Achane. He came on the scene last year like, gangbusters. But no one really talks about him this year. And I think now with this new Dolphins offense where they're trying to not let Tua stand back there too long, just get the ball out of his hands pretty quickly, I think Achane has done a good job of just keeping the pass rush at bay, making the defense play honest, and still having that gashing running style.
Yeah.
Achane's a big deal here for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I had a theory, and I told you about it. So people are questioning the lack of Waddle production, and legitimately think that Achane is their second best wideout. I think they think that he's their second best wideout.
They run the offense through him.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like we watch a game, you realize, it's first read, and then Achane's always on in the flat or going to the It's pretty interesting how they use him. It's a very creative offense. Like with Tua, this offense is very fun, creative. Everybody's moving. Everything has a check down now. But yeah, Achane's a very impressive running back. He'll never lead the league in rushing, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do a good job of using him creatively.
Miami 4-6, Cincy 4-7, Indy 5-6, and Denver 6-5. So a lot of teams are kind of within 1 or 2 games of each other there, with obviously 8 weeks left.
Yeah,
7 weeks left, and so a lot to go still. That's gonna be a fun race down the stretch here, that AFC wildcard game. But a big win last week for the Dolphins against the Rams. Another one here for the Raiders, and they might do it, man. They might make the playoffs, which is something that is a couple of weeks ago we would have just laughed at you.
Yeah.
Move ahead here. New Orleans.
Nolans
Played the Browns in a game that, let's be honest, none of us watched this game.
Who's watching this shit?
But let's talk about one man here. One man who dares to be himself. I mean, listen, we're talking about a lot of white guys in positions that they aren't normally in. Well, what if there's a white guy, and I told you, he played quarterback and running back and receiver and just about a little bit of everything.
Fullback.
Tight end. Yep. Fullback. Hell, they probably sent him out.
Yes. Teams.
Taysom Hill had a game today. Honestly, when I saw this box score, I thought, this is the game we all dream of when we just hold our breath and stick him in our fantasy lineup.
Yep.
What could he do?
He could do this one. You never know.
Taysom Hill today. Let's just go through these stats, all right? As a passer, just 1 completion, 2 attempts, 18 yards, and threw a pick. So not great as a passer. Okay. As a rusher, 7 carries, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That's efficient.
He's not overly fast. I doubt his bag of moves is very deep. How does he put that kind of stat line up?
You know who loves guy like Taysom Hill? Some old school coaches like, this guy's a ball player. This guy just likes to play ball.
I could have used
like he's a ball player.
Give me 22 Taysom Hills.
I'm saying we'll win a championship. Okay, we're a damn championship with Taysom Hill.
I mean, how long before Taysom's a Bronco? I mean, come on.
Deadline's already passed.
The Saints just signed him to a contract extension.
You know Sean wants him bad.
Shawnee boy.
I just don't know how there's only one Taysom Hill in the league.
Right.
Like, how is there?
That's a great point.
How are there not more teams with that? Should be at least because remember they were in the Wildcat. Back in the day, it was like, okay, all right, every team is going to get a Reggie Bush type or somebody just throw in the backfield and can run that Wildcat. But you can't replicate. I mean, you're seeing it all over in college. There's all these guys do it in college.
Right.
You look at the Travis Hunters and.
I mean, we're freaking out over Travis Hunter. He only plays 2 positions.
Yeah.
This guy plays legitimate fullback, tight end, running back,
I'm seeing a kick return here for 42 yards. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like he literally does everything.
And he's like 31 in white.
He's 34.
Yeah, he's 34.
He's 34.
This is crazy.
And he's a good athlete. He's a great athlete, but he's not a unique athlete.
8 catches for 50 yards too.
Just throw that in. 8 catches, 50 yards. Like there has to be, to Terrell's point, at like similar like athletes that profile like the same type of way.
Yeah.
Is this just like it takes some humility to maybe do all these different things, and like it takes a lot of work? Like, 'cause imagine you got to be in all the meeting rooms. You got to know everything. Like you got to know more than the quarterback.
He's probably just.
By the way, he does that too.
Like, he's quarterback. He actually started for them a couple of games. He's most
impressive, man.
He's the most interesting man in the world.
We have everything Cordero Patterson, which is
so true.
Yeah.
Oh God. Arthur Smith probably just dreams about this.
Oh
guy.
God, yeah.
Like if I can get Taysom Hill on our team.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Not gonna do it.
Nope.
Not gonna do it. Low hanging fruit. I'm gonna pass it by.
Speaking of which, Jets lost to the Colts, 27-28. Colts come out victorious. Anthony Richardson, what do you know? He looks really, really good against the Jets.
Let a game winning try.
Game winning drive, 272, a touchdown, 0 interceptions, ran the ball really well, 2 touchdowns there. But this story to me is about the Jets, man. How low can you go? Jets just blow our mind every week because now they lost to the Jets. I know at one point Aaron Rodgers had, I think, 18 net yards through the air, like a good chunk of way through the second quarter.
yeah.
I mean, this team is just
They suck.
they suck.
Aaron,
But you look at the roster and it's like, how?
they're a stat team. They get their stats and they're done.
They don't even get their stats.
Oh, Rodgers had 2 touchdowns. It's
He
just
threw for 184.
Fine. He plays fine.
he's fine. This
You see what Woody
this-
Johnson said?
This team's fine.
So this is the best team I've had in 25 years.
He has some bad teams in Woody,
Come on.
which he has.
On
And they
paper.
made it to the AFC Championship twice with Mark Sanchez.
Chad Pennington's like, what the hell?
What the Mark Sanchez?
You have butt fumble as your quarterback, and you made it to the AFC Championship game.
It doesn't make any sense, this team. Like, you have a team with Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall. I mean, Brandon Allen. It's impressive. Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson. Like, how are you putting up so few points? Like, how are you not dominant? I don't understand what happened to this defense. Well, I do, but I've never seen a defense fall off so bad.
They're 1-5 since Salah.
Ever since Salah left, this defense just you took the heart and soul of the defense in my mind. Like you took their heart out.
And the brain. He was the reason why this defense got it,
Jeff Albrook is basically invisible. Like, what does that guy do?
He's never getting a head coach job again.
He's never getting a defensive coordinator job again.
Yeah.
He was the DC.
It's a shit show over there. We got to talk about this last week, but fixing this involves a lot more than just a head coach.
Yeah, so I'll bring Terrell in on the conversation. Last episode, we talked about how much of this is on Aaron Rodgers. How much of it, I guess a better question is, how much of this is fixable by next year?
You can't. I mean, there's very little. I think you're stuck. Or you have to blow this up. You got to find a team who will pick up Aaron Rodgers. I think the Raiders are a good team who would take him as a bridge quarterback. But I don't know.
They're taking Devontae Adams back?
Oh, the long con.
Yeah,
they sent him to the Jets to bring back Rodgers.
Get some capital. Then bring him back.
Oh, that's pretty
Truth
good.
is, he's not going anywhere. They're going to run it back next year.
Yeah, they're gonna suck.
Draft a
They're gonna
quarterback.
suck again.
Okay, so to me, like, because it's a bad day to be the guy saying, give Aaron Rodgers a chance, because the offense looked pretty bad. I don't care how the numbers ended up. The way the the way the sausage got made was a lot more ugly than it looks at the end in the box score.
Yeah.
But this defense is so bad.
Yep.
Like, so bad. Like, Anthony Richardson could very well just be turning it around. I think a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that this Jets team is just getting owned by everyone they play now. Like, Sauce Gardner looks awful. The defensive line just is not, like, they were leading, I think, top 5 at least in sacks, and they just don't do it anymore. No. It's just, it's such a fall off. It's such a in-season collapse. It's such a story that I'm sure we're all sick of talking about and hearing about, but it's so amazing what they're doing.
This is just being a Jets fan. This is just the life of a Jets fan. Heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. Now it just has Aaron Rodgers as the face of the heartbreak now.
If they weren't done before, I mean, they are done now.
Yeah,
there's no shot in the playoffs.
They're
done.
They're
the
done.
Colts, though.
They're playing for pride.
The Colts have a shot at the playoffs.
Weirdly enough, hey, what do you know? Anthony Richardson, when you actually use him the correct way, today, not even the correct way, he's a red zone guy now, which is what you need him to be. He threw a lot better, 20 for 30.
So right now the Colts are 5-6. That is a game out of the wild card. That's right behind Denver at 6-5. They're right there. I mean, they're right there. Denver plays in the AFC North, so you got to imagine what they probably have the Chiefs again at least one more time.
Yeah, Chiefs
and the Chargers
Chiefs.
at least one more time.
Yep.
So not a completely easy schedule there. Meanwhile, Indy plays in the AFC South, which is not very good. And you got to imagine the schedules here probably look very different down the road. So I mean, I want to see Denver in the playoffs. I don't want to see them certainly over Baltimore or the Chargers, the other teams in the wild card. But Indy could sneak in here.
So Indy plays Detroit next, which we're going to chalk that up as a loss.
Yes.
Tough.
They have the Patriots next. And the Patriots have been playing pretty well as of late, but here's the big game. This is going to decide the tiebreaker. The Colts do go to Denver and play against each other in
That might be
3 weeks.
huge
So that's a huge game.
That might be literally fighting for the play. That's a playoff game.
That's a huge
That's a
game.
playoff game right there.
Good for Denver because I'm glad they're at least going to have it in their hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be like decided for them.
Yeah.
It's in Denver, and Denver's December schedule.
That's tough for the Colts.
Yeah,
But good for
their December schedule is pretty. It's pretty good mix there. You've got you got the Browns starting it off, then the Colts, and then they play the Bengals too as well in December. So 2 teams that are now the Bengals are pushed
They
a little bit
lost
further
tonight,
out.
yeah.
So
We can say good for the
Anthony Richardson.
yeah. I mean he'll be up and down. I think the rest of the season,
But good for the kid.
Let him
Let
him go play. Let him play ball.
this is what I said. He's a project quarterback. He only played for 15 minutes in college. So let the guy work himself out. This is how you do it. Let him get these wins, a comeback drive. I mean, his confidence is definitely going up.
He has some angry runs.
The team, he trucked the hell out of Jalen Mills today.
That's
you guys see that?
Yeah.
That was violent.
And Anthony Richardson's a big kid. So good for you, buddy.
I always had dreams of Anthony Richardson as to me, he's Josh Allen, like young Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like he's erratic throwing wise. He's just this crazy bull in a china shop athlete, and he can do everything that Josh Allen could do when he first came in the league. I think he's still a very exciting prospect, and I'm glad they're finally just going to let him go, even though they're kind of forced into it.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of
That's a good comp because Josh Allen sucked his first year.
He was terrible.
He was
2 years, right? Or 3
It
years?
was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, we were deprived of the Joe Flacco revenge game, but I guess we'll just go without that.
Flacco's about to win comeback player of the year, though. Say that. Mark it up.
Huge game in the AFC North here. Steelers, Ravens.
Oh, shit.
Steelers win 18-16. And let's just talk about the Steelers, man. How far can they go realistically?
We had
with Russell Wilson at the helm, this defense playing lights out, TJ Watt, defensive player of the year, Najee Harris running like he's running for millions because he is, contract year.
Great timing.
George Pickens just
the only thing out there.
the 50-50 ball. Yeah, just it's that classic like, fuck it, George down there somewhere.
They're down somewhere. It almost worked. I mean,
Terrell,
it worked, obviously.
give us some realism here. How far can the Steelers go with Russell Wilson?
The Steelers are. I mean, their defense is nasty. I mean,
So good.
The interception on the strip there, and then the Patrick Queen just ripping Isaiah Likely's arm off. I mean, their defense is ferocious. Their defense is nasty. That being said, my takeaway from this game is Russell Wilson is not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we already saw it in Seattle. He threw the interception, but he can get you there. He can help get you there, but he's not going to get you the win. That they need another.
Say it. Who do they need? That might be on the roster already. I think they need Justin Fields.
They need more packages with him. Like they need to, like we mentioned Taysom Hill. Why aren't there more Taysom Hills out there? You have a guy who can be close to that.
I think eventually they're going to need him at quarterback. They're going to need his just dynamic ability.
I mean, just his running. There were 3 or 4 plays where Russ, gets stops just short of the first down because he doesn't have that burst where Justin Fields is definitely picking up that first down and probably 10 more yards off of that play.
We have seen, let's be honest, we have seen an uptick in the passing game for sure. Pickens has come alive, all those different things. But even with that, I don't know that this team. I still don't know that they made the right move because they were doing great without Russell Wilson and with Justin Fields in there. And I think just because they've kept winning, I don't know if we should immediately because it's Russell Wilson. No, it's just a really good team, and it seems like they're going to win no matter which one of these guys is there. It's just a matter of who is the guy you're going to want when you're in Arrowhead in a playoff game or when you're in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's like which game would you say Russ won them the game?
He's had his moments.
Last week, I think the Commanders game, definitely the hard count at the end of it, but definitely got them to win.
Sweet hard count.
I don't know. I think Justin Fields probably gets you those wins too.
I think I disagree. I like Russ as this team's quarterback.
23 for 36. That's not good. 205 yards on 36 attempts. That's not good. No touchdowns. Threw a terrible interception in the red zone. It's just like Terrell said, he didn't win you this game. You won in spite of very little from your quarterback.
But I think it makes the defenses play a little bit more honest when you have Russell Wilson. Maybe that's because he can lead, because he has games where he can throw, that's why I'm saying he'll make you. I'm not saying he's going to lead the league in passing, but he makes the defense play a little more honest because you don't want to get 8-9 man in the box and then they just a moonball to George Pickens for a touchdown. You don't want that, and you've seen the connection with him, George Pickens. But I don't know.
He played. We were all going in on the Ravens as a team that you could definitely pass against because they were. And for him to have that kind of performance against one of the weaknesses of the Ravens is okay, so what is the ceiling of this guy?
I don't know if it's
I don't. Russell Wilson still doesn't do it for me. He's still exactly what we thought. He could be safe with the ball. He can make good decisions. He does still have the deep ball for sure. But what are defenses going to be more afraid of? 5 or 6 deep shots to George Pickens? Or Justin Fields being able to break it.
Yeah, the third and one.
What's more dangerous? I don't know.
The quarterback is going to get you that. He's going to get you that extra yard and probably 10 more on top of that. Russ is just what they were missing to get a playoff win last year. He's going to get them a playoff win, or they will win a playoff game with Russ.
Yeah,
but they're not going to win a Super Bowl. I don't even think they will make it to the AFC Championship.
They had Fields as the closer today. See that? When they were trying to get first down, they put him in read option.
He's so dynamic. he turned the corner on them he just slid too early.
Yeah.
He could have iced the game, but you see, dude, this guy has lightning in his legs.
No one likes him.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be the end of them. That Russell Wilson has very real limitations, and
okay, yeah, real quick. Other side, Lamar Jackson against the Steelers is bad, always bad. This is why you fear. This is why you don't really. Lamar Jackson is always gonna be MVP. But this is why you're in the playoffs, I just don't trust you. Because if you face Pittsburgh and you're bad against them always.
This is why I've been worried about the Ravens. That when Derrick Henry isn't having 2 touchdown, 150-yard games, and you have to sit back there and not throw off play action or not, throw against a box that's completely loaded to stop this 265-pound behemoth, then what are you going to do? Well, we saw today, 207 yards. We're killing Russ for 205. He did 207 on 33 attempts, threw an interception, did throw a touchdown. I think he looked better than Russ. But this is, to me, the same Lamar Jackson. We've seen nothing new.
And the Ravens didn't. I didn't like how on that 2-point conversion. Why wasn't Derrick Henry in the game? At least
on the field.
At least for the play action element, where you think they could actually run to Derrick Henry.
I love them going for it. I guess they had to.
Yeah, you got to go for it.
But him not be on the field pissed me off. This is your second best player on offense. Why the hell get him out there just for a decoy? Because it's a lot. Teams feel a lot differently if you have the 2-yard line with Derrick Henry.
I'm also learning too. When this team is up against it and they need a receiver, It's not Zay Jones. It's certainly not Deontay Johnson.
Zay Flowers.
Huh?
You said
Isaiah
Zay Jones.
Likely.
It's Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah Likely.
When they're back against the wall, it's Isaiah Likely.
it's not great.
Like, Zay Flowers gets eaten up. I saw a ball today just bounce square off his chest. I don't know why they traded for Deontay Johnson. He doesn't even play.
What's his name? Tom was right. He's like, I don't have to worry about him. No worries. He has 0 catches. Why they trade for him?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I think the bigger question mark that's real surprising is Justin Tucker is garbage now.
Just stats. I think he's
1 for 3 today.
I mean, that was the game. I mean, he missed.
Yeah.
There's 6 points on the board.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
they're winning this game, and they have the dumbest penalties. They have so many backbreaking penalties throughout the game that kills their drives, and then they just had, I think the turnovers were more the Steelers just making nasty plays against them.
You're talking about the Henry fumble to start the game.
The Henry fumble, the
Interception.
and then the Patrick Queen just ripping that ball out. So,
I think
that was more Steelers than anything. But I mean,
the Steelers out-Raven the Ravens today.
yeah, they played him tougher. But Tucker,
Classic
that,
game.
you what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there for so long. He's been clutch.
It's crazy to me how someone who has been such a weapon in the past that no one else had, right? Justin Tucker is now just like this massive weakness for this team. It's going to cost them. They're going to play in some big games.
Yeah, he's missed 5 field goals this year. He missed those all last year. Like, he's just not the same. It's not an element that they have anymore. Yeah,
I mean, this is the GOAT. Like, he was the GOAT. Like it's just
Father Time.
You're not
undefeated.
used to kickers falling off like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, and now cost him too. Playoffs, you need kickers, and I don't know if and over 50, he's terrible.
All right, let's keep moving here. Denver.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Upset of the day, man. Denver beat the Falcons 38-6.
Bent
The
them
Falcons were, we're talking the NFC South leaders, stacked with weapons. Bijan, the whole thing. We know all the guys. Kirko, playing like Kirk Cousins. Bates and Terrell and who am I missing? The other safety? Justin Simmons. All back there. Like, so much for the Justin Simmons revenge game.
Yeah. Did you see his opening when he was doing the breakdown?
No, what is that?
He said, "We're at their house. Fuck them."
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, all right, Justin.
Elegant.
Oh, Justin.
L take there, Justin. You got fucked up.
Okay, let's start with Bo Nix because
Yes.
that's the story of the game here. 28 for 33. That is really good efficiency. 307 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 145 passer rating. He is the rookie of the year in my book so far, and clearly, close. Not close. Like, he is a leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, he's for real.
Yeah, what I like about him, he's good on, today, 6 for 11 on third down. He was sacked once, so the offensive line's playing well, but it's slowed down for him. You could totally tell.
Yeah.
The first couple weeks, he's kind of happy feet. He's kind of throwing it, erratic. He didn't want to throw the ball down the field. Now you kind of feel like he's really gotten a hold of this offense. It took 5-6 weeks. He's impressive. He's impressive because he's in big moments. He's starting to that's when he's starting to play well, which is what you want.
And let's not pretend like he has a bunch of great weapons that he's surrounded by either. Like Cortland Sutton, and then wherever the hell is going on in the backfield, that's all he has. And he's getting it done. Terrell, go ahead. I know you're chomping at the bit.
Well, look, I was watching this game, and one of the things you talk about the weapons, I was sitting back going, imagine if Bo Nix had Caleb Williams weapons. I mean, we have 38 points with the weapons we have right now. I mean, we'd be averaging 38 points a game, 30-something points a game with the weapons he has. I mean, just the drop passes from guys, the fumbles by little Jordan Humphrey.
Big old Jordan Humphrey
every other game. And then Sutton, he's really a solid 2. He's not a true 1.
Yeah.
So, but Bo is playing really well. Like Angel was saying, he's not throwing off his back foot anymore. Like, he's actually stepping in there, making good throws. And even the one sack today, he tripped over the lineman's foot. So I mean, it wasn't even a true sack.
Take that, Falcons.
We're seeing the confident, athletic, decisive guy that was promised to us out of Oregon. We're seeing it. We're seeing it, and we've seen it blossom right before our eyes. I think huge props to Sean Payton.
Yeah, the playbook is opening up.
Yeah, but huge props in that how he brought him along slowly. Like, he wasn't doing much to start, and Sean was showing us why he is a quarterback whisperer, or whatever you want to call it. Like, he has brought Bo Nix along so perfectly, and he's growing at such a healthy pace. Like this is how you do it, Indianapolis. Like like they just gave him what he can handle, and every week it seems like he can handle a chunk more of this playbook, and it's really starting to open up for the Broncos, where you start to think like, what can this team do?
He reminds you of Justin Herbert's rookie year, where he just came out there just swinging, came like a lot of obviously Herbert was right out the gate, but right now when he plays, it's like big guy, can move, athletic, big arm, good in clutch moments. I'm Bo Nix guy, and like Terrell said, if we had Chicago's weapons, if the Broncos had Chicago's weapons, what a different story this would be. I guarantee the common fan doesn't know who Audric Estime is, doesn't know who Vele is, doesn't know who Marvin Mims Jr. It's just I praise teams a lot, or quarterbacks a lot, for doing a lot with a little. He's doing a lot with a little.
I think the greatest asset that he has right now is that defense, though. Like there's pressure on him, obviously, but relatively speaking, to look at homeboy in New England. Like he has a lot more pressure on him because the defense isn't going to be playing the way this Denver defense is. They're shutting teams down. They're just systematically shutting teams down. No matter who comes across like their schedule, they're going to shut him down. Surtain's playing out of his mind, but it's not just Surtain. Like this whole defense playing really well.
Yeah, on a little white boy over there playing corner.
Riley Moss, baby.
Riley Moss.
Like Travis Kelce said, he hides it. Yeah. he hides his edges with the sleeves.
He wears long sleeves, dog.
I mean, there can't be any other reason. I mean,
well, his skin done well with the sun.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
cold. It's cold in Denver.
Yeah, it's cold. But flipping it to the other side, because you're talking about this defense, this Falcons offense got completely shut down. Bijan Robinson on the day averages 2.9 yards per touch.
Yeah.
Drake London got the Surtain treatment, 3 catches for 61 yards. Kirko was just uncomfortable. It's just the Falcons offense. This is worrying me now about the Falcons.
I'm not too worried about the Falcons. I think the defense is on it here. I think they're playing fine. I think the numbers are actually better than I even thought they would be. I think this is one of the top units in the NFL, and this is what happens when you play one of the top defense. This kind of game can happen even to really good offense, even to great offenses. And so I'm not. Are you worried about the Falcons? I'm not.
No, I mean everybody in the NFC South lost to Denver this year.
Yeah,
Denver went 4-0 against the South and outscored their opponents 125-37.
Wow.
Yeah, only 4 touchdowns.
Let's play them every year.
Only 4 touchdowns given up by the defense. First time in Broncos history sweeping the NFC South.
Yikes.
Falcons. I don't know. They losing big. The Seahawks earlier that's when they first kind of.
When was that?
I don't know, week 4 or 5, 5, 6, whatever. Yeah.
Ago.
Then they lost last week to the Saints. Lost this week to the Broncos. It's a 3 different teams. I was worried that sometimes they just don't show up.
I'd be a lot more worried about the Saints one than this one.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is his first time in his career back-to-back games with no touchdowns, no passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, I mean that's tough to.
Something we have worried about, though, is his defense. Like, there's no pass rush. Obviously, no one touched Bo Nix today.
Clean.
You just sit back there and pick apart the defense. That I don't care who you have back there, Bates, Simmons, no one can cover for that long.
Yeah.
Like they get paid as well, those receivers. And so that's an issue for them. They should have went and got a pass rusher. They should have done everything they can to beef up this defense because you're in a window. Kirk Cousins isn't going to play forever.
And that's what we were saying in the draft. It was Dallas Turner, Jared Verse. Those guys are right there. That's what they get. And
they're all making huge impacts where they are.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a quarterback we're not going to see for 3 years.
Well, actually, we saw him today.
Yeah, but you know what? They kind of got to pass for it. Like no one kills them for it. But that's a true point. Like you would kill Jared Verse would be an MVP on this team.
Yeah.
Because you need him so badly. Like the gap between like what they have now and Jared Verse it's like Hutchinson and the Lions, but like times 10.
Yeah.
Like I think they messed up the offseason a little bit.
They have nothing at pass rush, and that's
like Whitney said. They have nothing.
Yeah, but that's going up. But yeah, Falcons. This is what I don't know. I think I'm out on the Falcons.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I mean, I don't know. The Bucks are.
I don't know if they're winning a game.
I don't know. The Bucks are getting. I mean, Bucks with Evans back. I mean, it's going to be a tight race to the finish between those two teams.
Those teams are going to battle it out. They're so evenly matched. That's going to be fun.
But I think the Falcons swept the Bucks this year, so I mean, they have the upper hand. So I think.
Kirko, come on, buddy.
All right, let's keep moving here. Seahawks. Those Seahawks beat the 49ers. Huge loss for the Niners. They could have really taken a step here because every game matters in this NFC West. It's so closely contested. Seahawks, are they good? Are they bad? I don't know.
Yeah, like who
are you?
Who is this team? Why are you 5-5? Why are you beating the Niners?
Geno Smith with a rushing touchdown to steal the game. I mean, he didn't throw a touchdown today. He looks just kind of okay. DK Metcalf, fine in his return. JSN looking like he's taking over a little bit, but I don't know who these Seahawks are, but they won today, so
I don't believe them still.
live to fight another day.
Do you believe in them?
No, but I mean, they beat the Niners, who are
They're
almost back to healthy. Like CMC doesn't look quite the same. He hasn't had that big game. He hasn't been the difference maker that we're used to seeing.
He looks out of shape.
Yeah,
He was huffing and puffing a lot today.
yeah, but it's understandable. Like
he's been in Germany.
He's been in Germany.
Eating brats, dude. I'm saying he's out of shape.
Jeez.
Those German women.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this game other than, I mean, okay, it just kept it close in the AFC West and more interesting going forward to a bunch of teams that, I don't know, they might just be truly what their records say. Just a bunch of teams that are kind of average and kind of all the same talent level.
I think the thing with the NFC West is the word I can think of is they're just old.
Yeah.
I mean, they're either old or they're not special. Where like the Cardinals have a little bit of mix of both. They've got the youth, but they also have some a couple vets there. So that's why I think they have the edge over all the other teams. But the Rams are old, Niners are old.
Niners kind of feel old.
They just look old. They look beat up. I mean, these are teams that were making Super Bowl. The Rams making Super Bowl runs, and the Niners making a run, and then Seattle. They have an older quarterback too. So I mean, they're just
You've seen interviews with people who've been to the Super Bowl and won it. They always say the same, like it's hard to get back the second time, and this team has gotten there and lost so many times. I can imagine they're probably kind of seeing the toll of it.
Yeah, they've been on a run for a couple years now. And you look at some of these older players that they have. We talked about Christian McCaffrey. Didn't reach 100 yards today. Did 4 yards a carry, which is fine. But 19 for 79 is not what we're used to seeing from CMC. Didn't do much in the passing game. Deebo Samuel, 4 catches, 22 yards. Like, they're kind of a little bit – we're starting to see the wear on these guys that they really rely on are just so much older. Ricky Pearsall, no catches today. He's not ready.
Did he get shot or where was he?
Okay, that's come on.
Kittle was out.
Kittle was out. I mean, another older, player who's been pretty durable and played pretty well. But
I mean,
older players miss games.
Jordan Mason and Jawan Jennings are their two biggest weapons.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings might be the best wideout. Jawan Jennings might be the best.
Might be. I mean,
Jawan Jennings balled out today.
Yeah,
it makes you think, man. Like, I mean, it's just been like Ayuk did nothing anytime he was in. Yeah. And as soon as he steps out, the first time and the second time, Jawan Jennings is just like everything they'd hope Ayuk to be. Like, how bad was Ayuk this year?
They should just traded Ayuk.
Like, what a terrible move for them.
They had like one good game out of 6, but that's not. But you paid him $30 million a year, so that's not great.
Yeah.
Niners look gold down. I don't know them either.
These two teams now tied for the bottom, although they're all three are at 5-5. But Seattle, San Francisco, both at 5-5, and it's just going to come down to the wire, and someone's going to need to win a big game.
But I think we got to put him in the sophomore slump category. Brock Purdy too.
Yeah,
third year, right? Third year.
Technically, his third year.
Junior,
but this is really his second year, his full season as a starter.
Right.
So he's up there with. I mean, we had the conversation with him and CJ early in the season, and they're both playing the same. Like they're not really winning you games. Sometimes even costing you some of these games.
Right now, they're only a win apart, right?
Yeah,
6-4, 5-5. Yeah.
Both. I mean, it's a really good comparison too because they both have gone through a very similar season. Lost major pieces. CJ dealing with that terrible offensive line. Purdy dealing with an absolute joke at times of a clubhouse, and then obviously people missing. Yeah. It's just I'm not too impressed with either of them really. And like Brock Purdy, you just think this was your chance to like show this organization because they're gonna have to pay you soon because he doesn't have that 5th year. He's a 7th round pick. Show this organization like, no, I'm your guy. I can right the ship when we're missing or
Yeah,
this is the Purdy. This is the Purdy that everyone, when Purdy was hot and playing well, this is the Purdy they all envisioned. They're like, no, I'm not a believer in him,
right?
Because this is the quarterback I think
Right.
he's more like.
I'm glad Deebo followed up his game where he put his hands on the long snapper's throat
Deebo's such a clown.
with 4 catches and 22 yards. Shut the fuck up, dude.
He's such a clown.
You can't go out there getting mad at the kicker when you're not even posting 24 yards.
He will 100% not be on this team next year.
No, he's done. He's done. Ever since since last week, I was like, bro, there's no now. I can't.
That really offended you
You ever wonder why you guys never win the Super Bowl?
because you're punching long snappers.
Because you're punching long snappers on missed field goals, bro. You didn't do anything in the game that you needed to win.
Yeah.
You didn't do shit.
Okay.
I'm all mad now.
I really got that out of your system. Seahawks win 2017. Let's keep moving here. 2 more games. Game of the week: Bills, Chiefs. Chiefs go down for the first time this year.
Done.
Finally, they got 8-1. Yep.
The
time
luck,
for the Bills.
luck ran out, huh?
Did you guys pick the Bills? I'm honestly asking.
I picked I picked the Bills.
I picked the Bills as well.
Yeah.
Pick the Chiefs.
I picked the home team.
Listen, they won 31-21, and I think they looked even better than that.
Chiefs look pretty good.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Bills.
Yeah, Bills. Sorry. Like I said, Josh Allen closed the game out the way Josh
He's
Allen
a
does.
dog, man.
He's just
Yeah.
But you worry though, because this is what they do in the regular season to the Chiefs. They beat them in the season, and then the playoffs they lose.
They have, what was it, 4-1 or whatever against the Chiefs in the regular season.
Yeah.
But we all knew like this meant way more to the Bills than it did the Chiefs, and they kind of played out that way. The Chiefs were the Bills just put it all out on the line. Like, I mean, Josh Allen had 12 carries today.
Yeah, you could tell the Bills really won. Even like you said, like the Chiefs, Kelsey after the game, him giving the little golf clap to the fans after the game, like, all right, he did.
Yeah.
All right, you got your win. Good for you, but we're gonna come back and beat you guys in the playoffs. No, I mean that was a good game. I think that was the game we expected maybe the Ravens and Steelers to be a little bit more like more points up, but Josh Allen, I mean, to get the first down on 4th and 3, and then just to seal the game right there
With a touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah, with the touchdown.
Incredible. He's
my MVP.
He's not gonna be MVP, but he's probably the show's MVP.
I hope he gets MVP. I think there's a good chance at it. I think Lamar is kind of running away with it right now, but who knows? Maybe Lamar stumbles a little bit here late, and Josh Allen's back in the mix. But I honestly think, like, if you literally look at the award, I honestly think he's the most important person to any team in the league.
I mean, in today's game, they're not even coming close to winning that game without Josh Allen.
Oh, no.
Like not even close.
Not on the same field.
Yeah, exactly. On the other side, I'm not worried about the Chiefs at all, really.
No, this is their first loss.
We're just fine.
Let's be honest.
Chiefs
This
fans,
is their first loss.
Relax. You weren't going to go undefeated.
I don't know. I don't know. I picked them to win this game, but then watching it, I think it's starting to catch up with them. I mean, they were a block field goal away from that being their second loss. Two losses in a row, and they've squeaked out some games. I mean, you look at they won in overtime against the Bucks. They a shoe size away from the Ravens game coming down to an end. So it's not like they've dominated every game. Like this is a team that very well could be 6-4 right now.
Yeah, you can make the case that the Lions have been far more dominant of a team than the Chiefs have been, even though they have the 2 losses. But
I think the Raider game was probably their most dominant game, and it was still like a close game in the first half.
They've back-to-back weeks of Hopkins not really doing too much. Last week against Broncos, obviously 4 catches, 56 yards.
Yeah.
And today 3 catches, 29 yards. Wasn't a factor really.
I mean, both these teams added veteran receivers, and they kind of seem like they're both kind of just part of the mix. I'm talking about Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins. I think they raised the floor of the wide receiver room. Not the superstar that probably most fantasy football players envisioned when they joined those teams, but raised the floor of the wide receiver room. I'm pretty impressed with the Bills' weapons. I think they all kind of come at you in their own special way. Like, and Bill Shakir to me is so much fun to watch.
They were down Kincaid and Coleman today.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's gotta be nice for the Bills fans. Like, we were in our full capacity today.
I don't think we learned anything new with this game though.
No, I think
right. Like
not
Bills.
Really.
I think we learned that I think we learned that Josh Allen is him. Like he's definitely can win you a Super Bowl. He can win you a Super Bowl. It shuts up Stephon Diggs so much. I'm just so glad. Because the whole conversation coming into this offseason was, they lost Stephon Diggs. the Bills, are they going to win the division? Here comes the Jets. Here comes the Dolphins.
What are they going to do without a superstar? They play the Chiefs.
Exactly. They have no star receiver.
Yeah.
And then he just comes in and he's like, this is my team.
Yeah.
I'm the best player here. I'm one of the best players in the league. And he solidifies himself. To me, he's number 2 quarterback.
He outplayed, to me, Mahomes today. I just want to see it in the playoffs. And I know he can do it.
That's the thing.
It just hasn't gone his way for whatever reason.
I want Josh to have a title. Just one title.
Yeah.
He's so good. And it sucks. It's going to suck if at the end of his career, we look back like, man, he had some good teams. They just never did it.
It's crazy, though, because of Mahomes and the Chiefs, like who that could potentially happen to.
Yeah.
The Joe Burrow, who's just
fighting for his life up there.
so good. He's so freaking good.
He's so good.
And then Lamar Jackson with these MVPs and everything like that.
Josh Allen.
Allen. These incredible quarterbacks that just might retire without a ring.
I mean, Tom Brady did that to so many quarterbacks. I mean, Peyton Manning only got one, but I mean,
Drew Brees, all-time great quarterback, one.
All these McNabb, play. I mean, there's so many good quarterbacks out there that never even got the chance. Phillip Rivers,
Peyton got 2. With the Broncos, I just want to make sure.
He got one. Yeah, he got 2.
But yeah, Brady. Yeah, this is what happens when you face just greatness for a long time. Look at Michael Jordan and the '90s. All those good teams never won a championship.
Yeah, I think we'll see these two teams again in the playoffs.
This has to be the AFC title game. If it's not, it's gonna be disappointing. Honestly, everyone wants these two teams to face off every playoff game.
You don't want to see Lamar try to get.
Nope. I want Josh. I want Mahomes. Those are great. Lamar is going to lose in the.
I don't want to see Russell Wilson. I don't want to see Lamar.
It's got to be these two.
Definitely don't want to see Bo Nix. Come on. These are the two teams you want to see
Bo's
play.
time is coming. His time will come soon.
Yeah.
He'll be there soon.
Bo knows.
Yeah. Okay, last game, Sunday Night Football, Bengals, Chargers. This one was wild. Obviously, the Chargers go up big early. I turned it off. I stopped. I was starting getting ready for the show and kept getting notifications that Joe Burrow is throwing them back into the game because that's what Joe Burrow does. The final score, 34-27, which is another heartbreaking loss for the Bengals. They just can't seem to figure it out at the end, even though they're fighting for their lives. Joe Burrow today, 356 yards, threw 50 times, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, they are. I saw a tweet today. They may be the first team ever with the leading passer, the leading rusher, and the leading sack artist, and not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I told you what I want to do with this team. I think the Zach Taylor era they seem like a little not reboot. They seem a different voice because they're good. They're a good team, or they're just cheap as hell, and this is why they're not good.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think Zach Taylor needs to go?
I mean, yeah. They start off poorly every
year. Yeah,
every September is bad, and exactly. They have to make this late push, at the end of the season to try to make something happen.
Right.
Man, Vrabel would be cool there.
A new voice, yeah. You could go Vrabel.
Is there any fear of messing with Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow, which is obviously working?
I think Burrow's good enough to play it, make anyone look good.
How do you know? We've never seen it.
I mean,
there has to be at least a fear.
I trust Burrow now. If it was like second year Burrow, maybe.
I mean, we've seen it. Joe Burrow's been injured twice, and the Bengals have sucked without him. So we clearly see Zach Taylor is not he's not the difference maker. It's Joe Burrow. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if you get Vrabel in there, you could just go through coordinators and be like, we still have Burrow. We're going to be just fine. I think he's at that level now. Like you see Mahomes always have different coordinators because you just believe.
I'm sure he can, but I would at least it would be a thought of mine because Zach Taylor, he's been great with Joe Burrow. Like Zach Taylor, you might even argue doesn't deserve to lose his job because he's an offensive coach and the offense has always been really, really good.
The defense
as long as the quarterback.
Garbage.
The defense is bad. That's Lou Amarillo on that side, and he's been very faithful to Lou and hasn't fired him, and he's been good in the past. But I don't know. I
don't even think it's Zach Taylor being bad. I think just it's time for a change. Sometimes it just helps for a change. Zach Taylor is fine. He's fine. That's what's the problem. He's fine.
I'm sure they've said that before in Baltimore and in KC. They've said that before. Like, I like when good coaches just stay in a place because good organizations recognize that's a good coach and the grass isn't always greener.
Tell you what, they need to sign T. Higgins. He's incredible.
They're not.
He's
report came out this week. There's little to no chance he's going to stay there.
He's incredible. He's like a legit superstar wideout.
9 catches, 148 yards, touchdown. He was great. He was better than Jamar Chase today.
He's amazing, and they're going to let him walk for nothing, get a third-round pick for T. Higgins, who's going to go make $33 million a year, have 1,400 yards next year because he'll be number one option. They're just letting him walk. When they compare Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow for the next decade.
I don't know, though, if you can. They're a small market organization, and you're about to break every record with this Jamar Chase contract. Like, he's going to have the biggest record. He's going to have the biggest contract in NFL history. And then you have to do that or close to that with T. Higgins again. Like, I kind of get it. I think the problem is you should have traded him and got something for him instead of just letting him walk out the building. But I don't know. Do you think they should sign both of them, or do you think it's wise for them, like money wise?
Yeah, they're not going to be able to. I mean, they gotta put some money on the defense, or at least start
maybe the offensive line.
Yeah, the O line
like,
too.
Just keep throwing guys at that because they can't get that right.
It's just gonna. They're just so special with Burrow, Chase, and T. Higgins. They're like, but yeah, money might, and they're as cheap as hell. So
I think T. Higgins has just played himself out of a wide receiver 2 contract.
Yeah, he's
better than that, and the league knows it.
Yeah, he's what Brandon Ayuk thinks he is.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah. Like Ayuk thinks he's T. Higgins.
If I just had my shot,
but T. Higgins actually plays well again with Jamar Chase. Like it's just.
Let's wrap this up by taking a look at the other side here. Justin Herbert and the Chargers win again because that's just what they do. They keep winning, and now they're 7-3.
Go Chargers! They're
okay. So this is the game where you see Jim Harbaugh is the difference in this team, because you're thinking same old Chargers right here, up 27-6. And then here come the Bengals. You're like, point. Are the Chargers about to choke this game away?
Yeah.
Same old Chargers. They're up big. We get our hopes high. And then they just come out and they shut them down. I mean, this is a tied game with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And then nothing from the Bengals. They shut them down. 3 and outs. The Bengals couldn't do anything, and then seal the game with a rushing touchdown to win the game. So this is the Jim Harbaugh effect.
Yep.
And as a Broncos fan, this sucks because the AFC you have Andy Reid and Jim Harbaugh. The AFC West, I think, is going to be they'll be the new NFC West.
Yeah. Harbaugh and Herbert finally mesh into one mind. They're really becoming a really good quarterback.
You thought Peyton
duo.
and Bo Nix was problems. Well, Harbaugh and Herbert are to me another level.
It's just nice when you see like a division that has Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, where you could see, actually, Chargers and Broncos have something nice brewing too.
Yeah, well, what the AFC West should be thankful for is that Denver not putting any pressure realistically on the Chiefs. They're 6-5, 4 games behind the Chiefs. Realistically, they're not catching the Chiefs. The Chargers just 2 games behind. They're putting some real pressure on the Chiefs here to take the division.
Yeah.
They're going to play at least one more time. I don't know how many times they played.
Play one more time.
I mean,
Chiefs got the first one.
And like you said, the Chiefs have lost a lot of close games. Like, they could very easily have 2 or 3 losses here. I think the Chargers are like the real shot here for number 1 seed, for AFC West, like, or not one more seed, but first round bye. Like, nothing is above the Chargers right now. This team can beat anyone.
I mean, right now they're playing the Texans.
I have a hard time thinking that they're much different than the Broncos.
No.
A block field goal away from them having the same record or near the same record. But tell you what though,
one of them 7-3, one of them 6-5.
They're both so good for Harbaugh because they remember the whole thing this offseason. They got rid of everybody. Keenan Allen, Mike, they just clean house. Eckler, Mike Williams, and they're just a good offense. They make Lab McConkey their number 1 option. They're just doing just fine. Yeah. Harbaugh's just, we forget how good of a coach
He's
Harbaugh
doing
is.
exactly what he did with the Niners. Like, here they are with the best defense in the league, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Herbert is Herbert now, and like now he's efficient. Now it seems a little more with a little more direction. Like there's a real plan behind it now.
Yeah,
where Staley was kind of felt like
idiot.
What do you want to do this game?
Like, what do you want to do, Justin? I thought you were the
should
coach.
Go for it. I don't know. All right, let's go for it.
Fuck it, go for it. For the two. Let's do it
because they do have a legit plan behind it, because they started off the season just grounded pound, run the football, and Justin Herbert's not going to throw it. Now they're letting him throw the football, and we already knew what Justin Herbert was. He's always been a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Yep.
And now he's showing people again, like I should be in the conversation with the top 5 QBs.
Yeah.
I would say Justin Herbert's the best quarterback Jim Harbaugh's ever had.
Yes. I mean, Kaepernick was pretty good, but yeah.
Kaepernick was good too. So I mean, we'll see. We got to see. You know, Kaepernick did get to the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I mean, right now the Chargers would face the Texans. I mean, they're better than the Texans. I think the Texans. The Texans and the Broncos are closer. I got to give the edge to the Chargers. I mean, obviously they have the head-to-head win against us.
They're very close. I just think the Chargers defense is better. The quarterback is better. I mean, Herbert today was threw for 300 yards, a leading passer, obviously, 2 touchdowns, also a leading rusher. Like he's a crazy athlete that people just forget about. I just think for the defense being better, quarterback being better, and weapons, I mean, not that much of a difference, except that I think maybe a tick more talent in the backfield for the Chargers.
Yeah, I think they're closer to the Steelers and the Ravens than I think Chiefs and Bills are at the top 2, but then I think they've entered Ravens Steelers territory right now.
I think they're right under that, but I wouldn't fight against you. Herbert's playing well.
Yeah, I mean, it's so the obvious place to land here is, well, let's see how they are in the playoffs. But just with Harbaugh, I have so much confidence. Like they're gonna be the exact same team they were in the regular season, in the playoffs. Like nothing's gonna change.
Yeah, so, I do worry about lack of weapons, but yeah, good coaching can cover up a lot.
Yep. All right, that is week. Sorry, go
ahead. Rams and Patriots. Did we do that?
Oh yeah, I hit that game.
Did I miss it?
In that with that one.
That sucks because I
moved that one in post.
In the middle,
I will.
In the middle of this test, like, we didn't cover the because I want to talk about the Rams.
We also gotta move fast. Let's come along show. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, Rams and Patriots 28-22. The Rams come out victorious here, move to 5-5. In that we've talked about over and over again that very competitive NFC West. Rams to me are one of those teams around the bottom that, as an Eagle fan, I'd be afraid to face. Obviously, they play each other next week, Rams Eagles, and so we'll get a good look at it. But with Puka and Cooper Kupp today played fantastic. Kyron Williams just scores touchdowns, and Stafford, to me, is the most Aaron Rodgers type quarterback that we have left, as far as someone who could just sit back there and pick you apart if you're not in his face. The Rams, to me, have a real shot to make some kind of run here, and we've seen this pretty much same offense at least make a Super Bowl run. Defense is young and hungry and getting better. I've always loved the Rams, so I guess I'm not the most unbiased.
Yeah, when Stafford slings it like this, I mean, four touchdowns. Most of the targets went to Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, as it should be. 3 touchdowns.
Why not? No one can stop it.
Why? If it's not broken, Cooper Kupp at this age better than most teams' number ones, and Puka Nacua is a superstar wideout that no one ever talks about.
Just think, between those two guys, 13 catches, 229 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Why?
And you know they're going to do it. And you just can't stop it.
And they're good at blocking. They're willing to be almost by the tight end to block. They're just they really, this whole youth movement of the Rams is paying off so much. Puka Nacua is just the first offensive weapon to kind of pop out, as far as wideout. Yeah. Kyron Williams, no touchdowns today, but another underrated player. They're full of underrated players. Like, this entire team is underrated. That's why
they've drafted really well. They've got a lot of top end talent in the middle rounds.
Yeah,
and it's made this rebuild
so quick,
so fast.
Yeah,
because they did it like that.
Yeah,
and now they're just chock full of talent on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they got rid of Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller and all those guys, and they're kind of panicking. Aaron Donald retired, and they're like, "Oh, this team is gonna be pretty bad." Actually, they're pretty good. And like you said, first round of the playoffs, you don't want to go face Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua. You're terrified.
Big game for them next week against the Eagles. Let's talk about the Patriots here. And it's really, to me, just this year's all about Drake May. Yep. Can you develop him? What can you see from him? 30 or 40 today, 282, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And this has been Drake May to me. Just good. He's been good. No huge games, but no low lows either. And to me, that's encouraging because there isn't a whole lot around him. Kendrick Bourne is playing again.
Who's his
after
best
the ACL, and he's the top receiver today.
Who would you take? Who's their second best player on offense besides Drake? Obviously, he's the best player. Who's their second best player?
It's weird because on certain days it's Ramondre
or Demario Douglas.
Kendrick Bourne it's just like he has.
Let me remind you, it's not a great O-line.
It's not a coordinator that you Alex Pelt, right?
I have no idea who that is.
I think it's Alex Pelt. But either
You
way,
know, like-
you don't really know this team. You just know Drake May's out there just slinging it.
I'm looking at this. I mean, leading receivers today: Kendrick Bourne off an ACL, Hunter Henry, Mario Douglas, Austin Hooper.
Yep.
Like I'm impressed with the kid. I think he's. I don't want to invoke the name too quickly. I think he's Andrew Luck-ish in the way he plays, in the way he goes about his business.
You know who also likes him?
in his steadiness. I like Drake May.
Did you see John Gruden talk about him?
No, what is it?
That he's the best quarterback in this draft. Or
I mean,
that he's like, what do you say?
Bo Nix has something to say about
he
that.
reminds him
but-
of Josh Allen. That's who he reminds you of. I'm not going all that way. But now they're
Yeah, he's also a big kid.
but the step 1, 2, and 3.
6'4", 230. I mean, he's a big kid running around.
If you could get away with this for one season, next year just go with offensive line. You could just, offensive line needs so much help. I think this is the hot spot for wideouts. You said that earlier. I think off air. You said, guys like T. Higgins, who we just mentioned, like hot spot, New England. Now they have a quarterback there.
I think they got their franchise quarterback.
Oh yeah,
They definitely get it. Good job. I think New England's heading in the right direction. They won't be a relevant team for probably another 3
they're still
seasons. 3 or 4 seasons, but they're heading in the right direction. You don't quit on this team. They're really good. I know we jumped off the Rams a little bit. I'm not as hot on the Rams.
Oh, you're not?
Not as hot on the Rams.
You haven't been all year. Like it's been
No,
hard to convince you
because
the Rams
they're
are
just
good.
like they're kind of there no real statement wins, and they lost last week to the Dolphins, and it wasn't like they blew out New England. Like this was a close game for the most part, and then they pulled it out. So I don't know. I'm not really sold on them. I think they're in the same boat as the Niners.
Would you take them or the Niners? Like right now?
I would take the Niners. Look older. The Niners look a little bit more beat up. I would take the Rams over the Niners, but whoever's making it out of that division is a one and done.
Wow.
They're not winning a playoff game. If I'm Detroit, Philly, the only team that I would maybe like the Commanders, if you have like a 4 or 5 matchup or something like that, might be a team that they could take out just
Falcons.
because they're young.
I think we're forgetting.
Falcons.
Stafford gave the Lions a good scare last year, and that was without.
Well, that's different. That's a rivalry. That will be a close game if they play.
Yeah, I agree with you, but then I'm also like, it's just Stafford. I actually don't like.
I mean, let's check in on this division. Right? Rank them as far as likelihood to win, and just rank them as far as belief.
I'm all in on the Cardinals.
Okay, so Cardinals number one for you.
The Cardinals are going to be the division winner to me. I really like the way Kyler's playing a lot more poised, a lot more confident.
Yeah.
He's still a burst of speed. James Conner is, one of the top 5 most underrated players in the league.
Who's your 2 and 3 then? I know your order.
In that division, I put the Rams at 2. I mean, I'd go Seattle and then San Francisco. San Francisco looks old and worn down.
Yeah,
they don't look good.
Yeah.
I don't trust Seattle at all, but you might be right. San Francisco, and also
I just trust Seattle having way more players in their prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the Niners have been beat up physically and emotionally for years.
I mean, they had a crap of an offseason.
Yeah.
And you look at even Bosa going. I mean, they were in control. Then Bosa goes down, and then Seattle wins. So I mean, that's their season. They just break down and they're loose. So I don't know. They're just too old.
Super Bowl windows open pretty quickly here. I would go Rams, Cardinals.
Rams,
49ers. I don't trust the Cardinals.
You have the 49ers above the Cardinals?
I don't trust the Cardinals. Like really, I still like just. I just like the Rams. I know they're only one game apart. I like the Rams more than the Cardinals by a pretty wide margin. I still believe in the Cardinals. I think they could go on a two-game losing streak and we wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're all 500 teams. So
Kyler's playing really well, man.
They beat the Chargers.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're hard to judge.
They beat the Chargers. They beat the Niners on this winning streak. I mean,
they have great weapons.
They look good.
Yeah,
with McBride and Harrison. And Connor, and then even Trey Benson backing that up, and then Kyler. I think Kyler's a difference maker. I don't know.
And defensively, they're not as bad as people think. They're not great, but they're solid.
No, yeah, Jonathan Gannon's He led a defense to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So he's pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Let's not preview, right? Because we already previewed this game on Monday night's game.
Just like who you picking, and then we'll right.
And we'll wrap it because Terrell's gonna get home tomorrow. Yeah. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last game here is Monday Night Football. Obviously, we previewed it on Friday's show, so if you want to see our preview, go check that out. But let's just pick it real quick. I'll start. I'm picking the Texans, and it's going to be a nice get-right game for the Texans, exactly what they need, and the downfall of the Cowboys continues. We're going to get another stupid quote after the game for Jerry Jones, and Mike McCarthy's on hot seat watch.
Yeah, I think we see 2 or maybe 3 Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks in this game. Texans going to go big. It's going to be a blowout. You might see Lance.
You think Will Greer's going to play?
Wow. Look, they're going to try everything because they're going to get blown out quickly. Neil Collins back. Tank is healthy now.
Texans need to win, and Texans need to look good.
Yeah, Mixon's rolling. The only worrisome part is the D-line of the Cowboys, but not really worried. So not too worried. So I think Texans by a mile.
You think, Joe?
I think the Cowboys. This might be one of their games where they come out and just say like we're on prime time. Let's not look like a joke. Let's not look bad. And they're gonna come out and just go guns blazing on the Texans. I don't see an upset here, but I'm gonna go Texans win this game 21-17.
Guns blazing with Cooper Rush.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I don't. Guns blazing. If you're gonna get
Cooper Rush. He went what like 3-0 last year.
He won a couple games last year.
last week he threw for like 40.
And let's not act like the Texans are.
And the Texans aren't. The Texans, remember, they got 5 turnovers against the Lions and still lost the game.
At least defensively, I don't know. I don't see the Cowboys. I can't see the Cowboys moving the ball very well.
It's not going to be a rout. If it can be a 3, I could see a 28-10 win, but I think it might be more a 21-17.
And the idea of Micah Parsons getting to face up against this O-line is a little concerning. Like, there could be a game-changing player or two, possibly in there if he can.
And they're boys too, right? Parsons and
they're on a
Stroud.
podcast together.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're boys, but yeah, they're on a podcast together. And they've been talking crap since last year. So we'll see.
Fun times.
I got Houston.
But we all have Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
Houston, but close.
Houston, that's crazy.
All right, guys, that's our show for this Monday, episode 183. Thanks for joining us. It is late on a Sunday night here, so we're going to go to bed. We'll see you again on Wednesday with a brand new show, brand new top 10, and more good times. See you.
Peace. Bye.